Hey, what's up guys? Gary G with Stay Slick Auto Detail here in Fresno, back again with another video. Today we're going to do something a little different, talk about my origin story or what I've had to go through to get where I'm at today. So stay tuned.
Alright Gary, where are you from?
Born in Hayward. Lived most of my life. Well, I've been a few different places. I lived in Ceres, California. I've lived in Modesto, Manteca. I went to high school in Sonora, California, in the mountains, and then now I'm in Fresno. Last 5 years.
Dang, how do you end up here?
Well, my wife got pregnant.
Okay.
My wife got pregnant, and my parents are split. They split when I was young, and my mom lives in Sonora. My dad lives in Modesto. They both work, so there wasn't really anybody to help with my son. My wife comes from a big family, and they were all here. It made sense. The company that I work for had a big location here too, so it would have been an easy transfer. So we sold our house over there and transferred all our jobs and moved over here.
How long were you with that company before?
A total of about 11 years and, well, it's close to 11 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh man, how do I describe it? Wrongfully terminated.
Okay.
But we're in California, so what does that really mean? Right? It's a that little state.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you kind of overcome that, like mentally?
You know what, man? My wife took a $10 an hour pay cut to stay at home with my kids. I have two now. My son's now 5, and my little girl's 2.5. She was going to take a $10 an hour pay cut to stay at home because my mother-in-law had been watching them since they were born. And she was getting older. Yeah. So it was time to give her a little more, rest.
Yeah.
So the day she started her new job at $10 an hour less, I got fired.
Wow.
The same day. So I got fired, and I went to my mother-in-law's house, and I cried to her. It was just a very emotional day. I'm like, how do I tell my wife, after she took a $10 an hour pay cut, that I lost my job?
How'd you do it?
Like I said, I went to my mother-in-law's house and I cried to her, and she just gave me some really good advice about just walking in with the armor of God, walking in and being confident that God's going to help, push us in the direction we need to go, and just not showing that to my wife, right? Because it's important for a man to help his wife feel safe, that things are going to be all right, especially people with faith,
Yeah.
like that. So it was just like that. I went over and I talked to her, and I went home, and just the way I spoke to her, she even says it now, like, it's when you were done, I had no worries, no fears. And that's not like us, because to be honest, it's sometimes easier for us to stress about things. That's what we're not the best with dealing with stress.
Yeah.
But man, it was just so perfect how everything worked out.
So, how did she take it? Was she, I know you said that at the end she felt at peace, right?
Yeah.
But when you initially told her, was she upset? Was she stunned? Was she worried, stressed?
I sat next to her on the bed while she was working on the computer, and I was there for probably about 30 minutes before I even brought it up, because I was thinking of the perfect way for it to
come out.
And I just said, well, I think we were talking about going somewhere or doing something, and I said, well, I think we're going to have a little bit more time, in the next few days or so to go do some stuff if you want to, we can go tomorrow anytime you want. And she's like, oh, well, you're going to be at work. And it was like, yeah, well, I kind of lost my job today.
And so you brought it out kind of like jokingly,
yeah,
or kind of lightheartedly? And
she was like, yeah, whatever. And I was like,
for real?
And immediately I saw the change and the tears start flowing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She burst into tears.
How do you handle that?
Like I said, man, walk in with the armor of God.
Yeah.
I walked in and I just spoke with authority, and I was like, I'm not worried. I have a feeling. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blessing.
Yeah.
And she cried for most of that conversation, but then I explained what happened and my plans. I didn't really have a plan, but I knew that I was going to try to do something on my own. And like I said, by the end of the conversation, it went very well.
After the conversation, when it actually came down to, going out and grinding it out, What was your biggest fear?
Not being able to come through. I've thought about starting business before, but self-doubt destroys me. I deal with that a lot. A lot of people do, but I deal with it a lot. And telling my wife that it's going to be okay and then actually making it happen, that's a big fear.
Yeah.
You know, I could say anything I want to you right now, but can I go show you through action?
Yeah.
And yeah, I was able to. I was able to right away.
How heavy was that weight?
Oh man, it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's really heavy, especially because I've tried a lot of things and they haven't always worked out. So when I told her that I was going to do it, I didn't even 100% believe it, but I knew that I was going to give it my all, and I knew that it was something that I loved. Auto detailing was something that I loved, so I was pretty sure that there were at least a handful of people that would get me started.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Now, when it came down to like I said, you know, doing everything, and this is something we were talking about, which was the mental part of it, right?
Yeah.
How strong do you have to be mentally? Because you said you mentioned you had kids already, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many did you have at the time?
I had both.
Both of them when you got let go?
Yeah, because it was only about 6 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how strong do you have to be mentally to go into all this? Like, how do you not show your kids that you're struggling?
It's hard, man. It's really hard not to show it, especially if you're somebody that shows your emotion. I'm that kind of person. You pretty much know how I feel.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for me to deal with people saying no, walking into businesses, offering my services. Oh, we're already dealing with somebody. Nope, not interested. You know, this or that, or oh, you know what, hanging up on me, or this, or hey, yeah, you know, come meet me over here. It never showed up. I mean, I've been through all of that just in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And to go home and not show the kids the stress that's on me, or not stress my wife out. Not to say I didn't fail. I mean, I've stressed my wife out a lot, unfortunately. Because like I said, I'm not great at faking emotions.
Yeah.
So it was a skill that I had to learn, because it's really important as a business owner, as a father, as a husband, as a man, just somebody who's helping somebody else out. You need to not lie, but you need to create an atmosphere of safety.
Got it.
It's important. Security is important.
Yeah. So how do you do that?
A lot of prayer, man.
Yeah.
A lot of prayer, and just following through.
How do you flip that switch? We were talking about how it's hard to flip that switch of business time and family time, right? So how do you do it?
I still struggle with it. I wasn't able to do it in the beginning. I just came straight home with the stress, and I had a few conversations with my wife about her telling me, you know, I need you to think about the way that you're coming home and what you're doing. Really think about it, and how can you de-stress. Sometimes it's as easy as going to get lunch by myself after I work, or taking a little drive before I get home, or doing some kind of chore or something that I need to do to clear myself before I get home, sitting in my truck for 10 minutes when I get home. Little things, you know. There's a lot of different ways to de-stress, but it is hard to turn off. Why are people not calling me? Why am I getting so many calls? You know, why am I stressed out when I have, you know, 15 customers this week? Oh man, why do I not have any customers? It goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something I'm still learning.
And lastly, for detailers that do have a family, right, and that are starting out, what would you say they should focus on, and what they should not focus on?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you watch YouTube, you will see a lot of detailers using very high-end products, equipment, glorifying working on supercars. There's a lot of vanity. Not to say that's not cool, it is, but it's not healthy to focus on that and feeling like you're not there unless you get there. I'll tell you one thing. My biggest struggle is watching other detailers and feeling like they're doing better than me. It's a mental struggle. You can't compare yourself, right? The saying is, comparison is the killer of all joy. It's very true. So it could even be friends. You know, it could be people that I consider friends in the detailing community, and I still see they're doing good. And even being happy for them doing it, it also makes me feel like, man, I wish I was there too. So it's really important not to focus on other people, to stay in your lane and just focus on what you are doing. coming up with something that is you. It's really important because it's easy to copy everybody else. So I think that mental-wise, to stay on the same track, don't focus on other detailers. Just take the good advice and move forward. That's what I would say.
Okay. Now, I know I said the last one was going to be my last question, but I just have one more. Beyond you being a detailer, you're a business owner.
Yep.
Right? And beyond you being a business owner, you're a father and a husband. So for all hustlers out there, right, what would be like a piece of advice that you would give? Just in general, not necessarily only for detailers, but for all hustlers out there.
Learn your trade. Learn your trade. Find out how you can be different. I would say learn everything there is to know about what you do. Obsess over it. Watch videos all day on it on YouTube. Meet the people in your area. Do the things that you need to. Then find out how you can separate yourself. And then just keep going, man. Keep finding ways to fall back in love with it. You know, it's really important because, like I said, I love detailing, but sometimes I get tired of detailing. So it's important to bring yourself back to realize why you love it. You know, I'm sure you can attest to that too. So it's important to make sure that you take time for yourself to do things that are not related to your hustle, to also keep you focused on your hustle. All right, guys, so that's a deep dive into me on the inside. I'm a person just like everybody else, and you know, I have a lot of struggles. It's very easy to look at people on YouTube and on social media and see vanity and seem like they have it all together and compare yourself. But what I'm telling you is every single person struggles. Everybody has something they're going through. Somebody has a story. Somebody has something they can teach you. Somebody has something that makes them unique. So hopefully this is, you know, me being transparent as a person. It might help you be more transparent with the people around you, or just to see everybody. We're all humans. You know, we're all here with our flaws, and hopefully it motivates you to just keep going when times get rough, and just keep doing your thing, you know. So if you guys like this video and you'd appreciate it, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe on this channel. If you want to follow me, Stay Slick Auto Detail on Instagram and Facebook. And then I have my own YouTube channel, Stay Slick, where I post a lot of different stuff related to detailing, me doing the details or other things like that. And maybe I'll post more stuff like this if there's an interest in that. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Peace. Stay slick.